Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is our second conversation for this morning. And as we promised, we have joining us on set, entrepreneur, political servant, Grammy Award-winning artist, none other than my brother, Shyne Barrow. Good morning, sir.
Hello, babes.
Hello. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I am blessed. Good morning to all of the viewership, everyone in Mesopotamia and the wider Belize, and to you and the staff here.
You recently traveled back to Belize. You're outside of the country, correct?
Yes. I returned to Belize over the weekend.
Now, let me ask, just to kind of set the tone, what has life outside of politics been like for you?
It has been wonderful. It has really been a blessing. I have been so fortunate to have a career outside of politics, in entertainment, entrepreneurship. I was just telling you, my good friend that I've known for over 30 years is coming to Belize, partnering with me to open a Brooklyn Chop House, which is a famous restaurant in New York, Miami, and Dubai. And we're going to do that with a resort. And, you know, I have my new album and memoir and film projects coming. And I have a very special 25th anniversary tour that will commence May 2nd in King's Theatre, Brooklyn, New York. So things have been fantastic.
Yeah, we're going to touch on these things. So where the entrepreneurial aspect is concerned, you're talking about investment in restaurants here in Belize.
Yes, resorts.
Resorts as well.
Yes, tourism shops.
Tell us a bit more about how those plans are coming along. Are we looking at Ambergris Key as
yes, San Pedro and Placencia.
Yeah. How are those plans coming along?
Coming along, purchasing property, you know, getting everything, the logistics off the ground as far as concessions and everything that we need for the development. I had been, every time I traveled to the States, when I was leader of the opposition or thereafter, I'm always pushing all that I come in contact with, friends or associates, to come and invest in Belize. And, you know, finally I'd been telling Robert Cummings, who is the owner of Brooklyn Chop House, let's do a resort and restaurant, tourism shop at two of the primary locations in Belize. And he and a group of investors have agreed to partner up and come down. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Entrepreneurship is nothing new to you, correct? It's
Since I was 20 years old, I own my publishing company. I was one of the only artists not to have to give his publishing to Bad Boy Records. And ever since I've had my production company, I was signed to my production company as an artist. Then I did the deal with Bad Boy Arista, and thereafter I just continued to evolve. I went from having a joint venture with my publishing company to administration, where I owned 85% and just gave them a 15% fee. And I did joint ventures and distribution deals. Now I have a distribution deal with Warner Music Group and deal with Disney. So very fortunate.
Does moving away from the thick of politics and more into entrepreneurship and back into music feel like a relief, or do you miss the rigors, the day-to-day, the grind, the hustle of being at the center of the political?
Well, I haven't moved away from politics. I'm very, very much committed to serving the people of Mesopotamia.
At the level that you were before.
To serve the country. Well, levels are relative. It's all perspective. I believe that your contribution that you have to make can be impactful regardless of the particular office but I do believe that I have a great impact to make in the legislature, fighting for policy, because that's one of the things that I'm not hearing right now. I am hearing the opposition criticize everything that the government does, which is fine, making a lot of noise, but I'm not hearing them say that they won't acquire SpeedNet should they come to office. I'm not hearing them say that they won't engage in this particular policy that the PUP is engaging in, and this is our policy. I have yet to hear what a government, a UDP government led by Tracy Pantan would do and not do. All they've been doing is telling us what is wrong with the current administration. And as far as the BTL acquisition, I mean, everyone was repulsed by, I'm not so sure the merits of the acquisition, more so the way Lizarraga went about propositioning. I don't even think he tried to proposition the public. His position was that he was just going to ram us the deal, and that really offended the public, because it is a public company with private shareholders, if you will. So I think everyone was disgusted by the approach to that, because I will say, again, and this is why I will never walk away from political service. I will never walk away from being a patriot and giving my opinions, because we don't need another opposition to take the reins and do worse than the government they criticized. And that is why we need to elevate to a level of policy-driven debate, not just what is wrong with the PUP. We all know what is wrong with the PUP. Tell us what is right with you, what your policies will be, spell them out very carefully, so that when you get there, we can judge you based on delivering on the policies.
What ends do you still have with the party, or have you been shut out completely?
Well, again, I go back to this BTL acquisition and my concern about the future of Belize. While no one has criticized John Briceño and the PUP administration more than I used to shut down the House of Representatives, I know the Speaker is probably happy that I'm no longer there, because I used to give her quite great consternation. I have to be fair, and then I have to put the spotlight on the hypocrisy of the current leader of the UDP. Because while she talks about the BTL acquisition, which all of us are offended on how the chairman of the board has approached it, but when you talk about that being a corrupt deal, I have to point out to the public, as they decide in which direction they'll move the country. Tracy Pantan was the minister who approved or was a participant. I believe the ministry was divided in two, and she was given responsibility specifically for Bolido. And we all know that Bolido was, allegedly, I have seen some proof, and I think there's been an admission by the former Prime Minister's family member. That is a matter of fact. That Bolido was majority or partly owned by the former Prime Minister family member. And Tracy Pantan is the one that facilitated that deal. No, I don't believe that the former Prime Minister Barrow had anything to do with putting a Bolido deal together to benefit his family member. I believe him when he says that he didn't even know that his family member had shares in Bolido. So how now do we, or does Tracy say that because Jaime Briceño owns Smart, that John Briceño is the one that is trying to facilitate this deal, and this deal is corrupt and it's filled with nepotism, when she was the minister in charge in the Ministry of Economic Development, and she was a part of the Bolido deal?
Well, for my sake, I'll just have to fact check that.
Yes, you fact checked it.
I'm not certain, so I'm not supporting that.
You don't have
statement
to
in
support
full
what I'm saying.
until I
speak.
fact check. I don't want to attract any sort of.
Yes, I speak with qualified. I speak with qualified information. But the point I'm saying, this is why I will continue to be involved, because what we don't need is continued hypocrisy. We don't need exactly what the last administration did, which was point out everything wrong that the Barrow administration was doing, but then come in and not do quite better. So,
Yes.
and then further, internally, Tracy has been everything but transparent, has been everything but inclusive, has been everything but consultating, has been everything but consensus building.
Some of the same accusations
That she's making, no, that she's
against
making
you.
against, but that she's making against the board of BTL. Because again, it is the board of BTL that even under the Barrow administration, as far as I knew, was looking at acquiring SpeedNet and other competitors.
One of the things I think we've established and are establishing here is that that political vigor remains in you, and it remains
Absolutely.
alive and
Absolutely.
well, right?
Absolutely.
And so I want to transition just quickly over to your music and what you're doing with your new album. Are you in the studio these days laying down lyrics to tracks?
Yes, I just left Los Angeles. Was there for a few weeks. We were privileged to work with Dr. Dre.
Okay.
And I've been collecting beats from my favorite producers, RZA, Swiss Beats, Timbaland, some of the legends and some of the newer artists and producers. So yes, but first and foremost is getting ready for this May 2nd King's Theatre 25th anniversary performance.
I think when
So all my Belizeans living abroad in the New York tri-state area, I look forward to seeing you there so we can celebrate 25 years of the Shyne album.
So that's the King's Theatre in Brooklyn on
Yes.
Saturday, May 2nd.
Yes.
And it begins at 9 p.m. based
Yes.
on what I'm seeing here.
Yes.
And this is also in tandem with your 25th anniversary.
This is the
of
launch
the
of my
Bad Boys.
25th anniversary tour of my first album, the Shyne album, which came out in 2000, September 26.
We expect to see some big names take the stage that night, correct?
I am so excited to get on the stage and perform that that is a footnote of what may be. So I am more interested in engaging with an audience that has loved me loyally for so long. The fact that I could sell out King's Theatre after all of these years is a testament to a loyal fan base. So I'm happy to just get on stage and just locking with them.
What do you think it would be like being on stage after so long and having had so much different transitions in life, to say that who you were back then is not who you are today?
Well, who I was back then was a youth, 19 years old, 20 years old, like Frost God or Stick the Artist or Britney Starr or Yastalia, DJ Perf, a youth trying to find his way, chasing his dream, and a youth living in urban warfare. We used to call Brooklyn Vietnam. I don't know much about the gentrified Brooklyn of today. But that youth had so much ambition, so much promise. And I am the realization of that promise. Because when people try to put me in a box, I reject it. You can be any and everything. There's no limit to what you can be. So when you see me today as a former leader of the opposition, former leader of the UDP, former member of parliament, there's no reason why I can't still be a great musician who gives passionate performances and take my 47 years of experience, but the maybe 23 or so since leaving the music industry, and pour that into a performance and really create a magical experience for those who appreciate my work of art.
How do you describe the adoration and the legendary status that you hold in the US for Belizeans looking on that may not be familiar with that level of adoration that you get when you go over there?
Yeah, it's not to be explained. I did an interview with Nessa Diab. She's a host on the #1 radio show Hot 97. Mm-hmm. She's married to former NFL great Colin Kaepernick. Mm-hmm. And she asked me, what do I want my legacy to be? And I told her to be a great dad to my daughter Naomi. Hello, Naomi. Daddy loves you. Also to my goddaughter Zav. But to be a great father to Naomi, and to be a great servant to the people of Belize, to have made transformational impact for the people of Belize. That is a process and a journey. Mm-hmm. So there is so much for me to do for Belize. And I'm doing it every opportunity I get. Yes, it's nice when Bad Bunny shows a flag, but when Shyne go front of millions of people, Shyne say Belize, and make them know Belize and tell them if it conda Belize. And I have a code switch because I can't talk, the Creole, they not understand me. And so, what I have built in the United States took time.
Mm-hmm. Decades.
Yes, and so building that in Belize is not necessarily my ambition. I know what I have to contribute to policy shaping, to investment, and I will just do that. And then maybe when I am 70 or, about to transition to the next realm, people may appreciate, they may not, but I can tell you there is nothing more satisfying than promoting Belize, marketing Belize, nothing more satisfying than helping Belizeans. I still do philanthropic work in Belize, Mesopotamia in particular. I was working with the Belizean American group led by Opal Enriquez. We did a reading room in Wesley and in Cayo in Canaan. And so every month I give out a laptop. I'm going to give out a laptop. Today I have to give out 2 actually because I missed last month because I was in the States. And so there's nothing more satisfying than helping my fellow Belizeans, because I remember when I was young and poor with a single mother, just her and I fighting to survive in Brooklyn. And America gave me a host of opportunities.
So how can...
So for me to give those opportunities to Belizeans is my life's journey.
How can you do that in the music industry, to get to kind of build a bridge so that Belizean artists can enjoy or at least be exposed to that level and that standard of the music industry that you've been exposed to?
Well, I've done that. I can't do more than give Stig a song with DJ Khaled and Davido. Not too many people on planet Earth have the benefit of getting a DJ Khaled feature and a Davido feature. I've taken Stig to BT. I've taken Stig to Miami with DJ Khaled. I'm taking Stig to the International Music Conference in Jamaica, of which I'm a keynote speaker in a few days. I can't do more than that. It is really, I work closely with DJ Perf as well. I'm always helping so many artists financially. We have to do it collectively. It has to be in the collective consciousness of Belize, the private sector, as well as the government. But the private sector is very important. The Jamaican music industry developed because of the private sector.
Investing.
There were many people in the private sector who believed in their heart and soul that even if they lost millions of dollars, they would invest in Jamaican music. And that is what I encourage my fellow Belizeans who have the means, who have the millions, that our musicians are worth investing in. So I am doing my part, and I will continue to do my part. But I can only do so much. At the end of the day, you can't try to be successful in the United States if you're not successful here. So we need to embrace our Belizean musicians more, and the investors need to put more money into the Belizean artists so that we can create a world-class product. Stig does a great job. He's an entrepreneur. Him and Richie Galvez, they're partners, they're business partners, and he's a great entrepreneur. And one of the things I did when I did deals with him and Super G and others, we did entrepreneurial deals where they're responsible for their success. I am just, as you said, a bridge, but it's a long journey. But I am certainly doing my part to help. When I was ambassador of music, I poured a tremendous amount of my resources into the orange sector.
Now,
I'll continue to do so.
As we wrap up this conversation, Sabrina wanted me to put you on the spot a bit, right?
Even asked me about the Grammys, asked me about Africa. I was just there with Ryan Coogler, who directed Sinners and...
Well, we don't have all the time, unfortunately. So I can't ask you
about
about
talk to the minister for an hour.
No, me not talk to the minister. Listen, right?
Minutes?
So I have the lyrics to two of your old tracks, and Sabrina wanted me to put you on the spot a little bit. I'm going to quote one line from each one of these songs.
Sure.
And you finish the line that follows. You give me the line that follows.
Sure.
Right? All right, good. I have to find one line where no got bad word or nothing explicit, right?
So
okay.
you're going to tell me the song?
I tell you the song.
Tell me the song.
So this one here, Bonnie and Shyne.
Okay.
Right? You still listen?
I don't listen to my music.
You don't listen to your music?
No,
All right,
no.
you're like me. I don't really listen to my stories.
Yeah.
All right, so this one say, and this is a random part of the song. On the telephone, she heard my voice.
Told me to pick her up in my Rolls Royce.
All right, then this one that's Gangsta. One there, right? 100 carats in the watch. That's Gangsta.
100 carats in the watts. That's gangster.
That second line kind of explicit, but
Yeah, so I can't.
oh yeah, all right.
I have to do another one.
That second line is very explicit. I never read it. Balling out when you locked. That's Gangsta.
leaving your homie's commissary stock?
Actually, it's taking over spots and blocks. That's
All
kind
right.
Good?
Yeah.
All right, good. And so that's a challenge. You might not get any type of challenges there anywhere, but you get it, yeah. Mr. Barrow, Shyne, you're taking over the King's Theatre in May 2nd.
Yes.
Huge deal.
Yes.
For Belizeans interested in the diaspora and at home, are tickets already on sale?
Yes, selling out. So a few tickets left. Go to ATG, King's Theatre.
All right.
And also we're doing the International Music Conference in Jamaica, in Kingston, Jamaica. I'm taking Stick the Artist with me, being the keynote speaker, so that should be very exciting and a great opportunity for him to network and for us to talk about what is happening in the region.
And just so you're aware, we did see you at the Grammys. We can't help but see you because you're all over our social media pages.
And AFCA,
And at AFCA, we saw you as well.
I presented an award.
With Ryan Cougar.
And the first thing I said was a warm Belizean
welcome.
Greeting.
We saw that as well.
Always,
we can't help but seeing
Belize.
it. As soon as I scroll, everything that you're doing in the US
Belize.
is just right there.
Always Belize.
Congratulations on your success, and we wish you more going forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. God bless everyone.
All right, so with that, we're going to take another break, and we will be right back with more Open Your Eyes. Stay tuned.